G'day, Alex here from Tactical Arbitrage, and in this video we're going to have a look at the second section on the page, which is the seller information. And this is kind of the exciting section. This is one of the main reasons we're going to come to this page. It's great to have all this information at the top. It helps us solidify that this is the item that we want to look at. It gives us a bit more information about this, but a lot of this data is actually already on the view data page that you probably came from. So down here is where we want to have a look at some more juicy information. And what this is going to do is actually show us the top 20 sellers of this product and tell us how they are priced and whether they're an Amazon seller, a fulfillment by Amazon seller, so on. So let's go column by column from left to right. So we've got the seller name. Now don't worry about this little icon here because that's explained in the very next video. But you do have the seller's name and you can click through there to their storefront. You've got their current rating, which is 95% positive for this guy. You've got the number of ratings. You've got whether or not they are, as I said, an F fulfillment by Amazon or a merchant fulfilled seller. You've got the price that they're currently selling the item at. You've got how many of these products are in stock. You've got the price after all fees. You've got your basically the amount after your fulfillment by Amazon fees are taken out of there. You've got your gross profit and you've got your return on investment. So what I can see from this grid here is that at our current buy price of $19.99, we wouldn't be able to make a profit on this item until we price it the same as the 10th seller here, which is $27.95. Are currently held by Capital Toys. So who is in our way? You've got some people here which have 2 items. You've got a guy here who's got 14, and down here you've got a fellow who's got 347 of these items on the shelf in stock. You've got some more low quantity holding sellers before we get to our Capital Toys seller, before we can make any profit at all. Now, so from this analysis, I'd go as far as saying that this is not necessarily a product that I'd be looking to sell. There's especially not at this purchase price, because we've got a lot of products in between us and a profitable seller. Now, with an estimated monthly sales of 74 items per month, even if nobody restocked their stores here at all, we're looking at about 5 or 4 months, I'd say. 4.5 months, 5 months before we actually get to a point where we're making any profit on this item. And as I said, that's if none of these guys restock and none of these guys keep their products at that lower amount. So not a good one for us to consider selling. But you might be able to see at this point how some very useful data is coming into play. Because what happens very often is, let's say we're having a look at a gross ROI of, say, 15 or 20%. Now I'm going to pop across back to view data, and I'll stretch this video out a little bit more by doing a further analysis on another product which may have a little bit of profit in it already. So this this Spider-Man that I can see directly below it, he only has 2 sellers, and the first item has 27%. Now, because he's only got 2 sellers on this product, I'm going to assume that's probably a restricted item. So I'll go a little further down to this one here, 48% gross ROI. Let's click on the microscope, the Tactical Edge Analysis tool, and have a look at this item in a little more depth. So up comes the information. One thing I forgot to mention earlier is this little green indicator here tells me that the Goldman Sales LLC has the buy box at the moment. And if I click across to Amazon, I can confirm that information. Sold by Goldman Sales LLC and fulfilled by Amazon. Now, Goldman Sales LLC, it actually says on Amazon, this guy only has 5 left in stock, so order soon. Coming across to Tactical Edge, I can confirm that that is the case. The in-stock column indicates that he only has 5 in stock. Now, why is he holding the buy box and the cheaper seller is not? They both have a similar rating. We've got 97% positive for the Home Shopping Concierge and 96% positive for Goldman Sales. And I can see that the reason would most likely be is that the home shopping concierge, even though priced lower, is a merchant fulfilled seller. This is a great little indicator for you to realize that you can actually get an advantage by being a fulfillment by Amazon seller. Because fulfillment by Amazon sellers are often rotated into the buy box as long as the price spread is reasonable, like $1 or $2. And I think the algorithm's probably a little more advanced than that. It probably takes into account a lot more information, and maybe it's more of a percentage of the price. But in these lower priced items, you know, $1 or $2, and you can usually come in there at fulfillment by Amazon and steal the buy box from the merchant fulfilled seller, who, as you can see, currently is not holding that. So that opens things up a little more. Now we're kind of seeing that there's a 48% ROI on this product, sure. The merchant fulfilled guy has 50 to sell before he's going to be out of the picture. So it is going to take a little while to sell through those, as there is an estimated monthly sales on this item of 30 per month. So in this instance, we probably don't want to look too far ahead, but there is often case times where there is only 2 or 3 items, and it's say 35%, and there might be another guy with one to sell, and that might be at 40%, and then an opportunity for you to price somewhere in position 3 or 4 and get a much higher return on investment just by holding out and waiting for the first couple of sellers to sell out of product. Now, the last little thing I want to talk about before I skip away from here is a little extra feature that is not yet released with Tactical Edge, but soon will be, and that is to detect when the seller has a cap on the number of items sold. Now, what do I mean by a cap? So what I mean by a cap is this guy here, Goldman Sales, may have it set in his Amazon seller account to only ever allow 5 per person. Now, this particularly happens on very fast selling, very high selling Amazon products. And it might say here in stock 3, where the seller actually has many hundreds in his store. Because of the nature of the way this data is collected, it is telling us that there is only 3 items in stock, and essentially what it's doing is it's finding out how many the item is capped at selling. Now, it's not necessarily super common, so running down this list for this particular product, I would actually take these in-stock levels here as potentially gospel. 55, 11, 15, 7, they all sound very reasonable for this particular item ranked at 150,000 with this number of sellers on it, etc., etc. However, whether this video is completely up to date with the features by the time I release it or not, there is a feature coming out in the near future which will mark an indicator alongside the in-stock if the product is in fact a capped product. So therefore, if it says there is 5 in stock, you can say to yourself, well, actually there may not be 5 he's got to sell. There may be a lot more than 5 he's got to sell. At the moment, the indicator is not there. However, we do mark all Amazon products as red because Amazon is one of the key people who caps their items to only sell 2 units per person or 1 unit per person. And so we do actually mark those as red. You'll see an in-stock level there, and it'll be marked in red for Amazon. That's just to make you caution for a moment not to take the in-stock level for Amazon as gospel, but we will be adding that to the other sellers very soon. And if this video is old, you may see that that is already a feature. That's all I want to say about the Tactical Edge feature in this video. This went on a little longer than anticipated, but I hope you can see how you can use Tactical Edge as an additional tool to let you drill further into items and make your buying decisions according to the current sellers and their current buy box prices and the number of items they have in stock. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video where we're going to discuss this little icon over here about exploring all sellers' ASINs in reverse search.